Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Spotlight. It is Thursday, March 4th, the only day of the year that the calendar tells you to do something specific. So, welcome. I am Gayle Nicholson, your Spotlight host and miracle making queen with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. And I have with me today Mr. Greg Goshorn, the founder of G2 Internet Solutions, also known online as onlineLocalVideo.com. And Greg is one of those resources that you have out there to actually save your business from internet trolls. So, thank you so much for joining us today, Greg. Thanks for being here.
Oh my
How's
gosh,
things
we
going?
uh, we are so happy and blessed. Thank you for having us. Things are really going great. I mean, I've got some celebrations where we're bringing on people. Uh, we're sharing the word. We're teaching. I just got off teaching a session in a tech corner all about Google My Business, which is a lot of times where the rubber hits the road on this trash talk.
It really is. Let's talk about Google My Business for a second because it seems to be where when a person goes and Googles a business, I mean they go and they Google it and the business profile comes up and all of that, and that's where people are finding their information when they go there. But I've noticed as business owners, we don't tend to go, would you mind leaving a review over here at Google My Business? And, whether they give us a review or they compliment us in private message or they even take the time to do a 1 minute or 2 minute pat on the back, like visually for us, what is that disconnect between put it here where it can actually be of benefit to my company?
Oh, a magical question for sure. It no longer are the days when, they write you a letter and you frame it, right? You put it on your wall. They send you an email, and you post it. And you can do this. You could and you should, right? Shows this stuff off, right? You can take it and put an image up on your website or take a little screenshot, and put it on social media. Um, it's a great practice, but really where the leverage, where the power, where the new word of mouth is when it's on the review sites.
Hmm.
And there's dozens, big ones, but there's arguably no dang bigger place than the Google My Business.
Yeah.
And getting them there is really the crucial. And so there's a couple tricks if I could throw out some pro tips here.
Absolutely. Yes, please. Give it
Yeah.
to them.
Um, it, you said it. Well, first of all, you gotta ask, right? And some people feel like resistance to that, right? And I felt the same way too. I'm like, well, I did a good job. They're gonna go do something, you know. But then what we found is you've got to get over that hurdle, and when you do it, you got to make it simple and easy. And so if we're staying with the Google My Business mindset, which is surely the place to start and to focus. Um, and if you have a Google My Business account, which hopefully I don't want to be too jargony, right? But many businesses know what that is. If you don't have one, go to business.google.com and you can sign up. There's a couple rules, like you have to be a real business and you have to help people, not even only at your place. You could have a service area if you're a small place. You don't want to put your home address or something on there. But when you get to this thing, it's kind of your home page on the front page of the internet that's free. On the console, there's a little thing called Share Your Review Form, and it's super great.
Nice.
When you go in there, you get a short link, right? And it's easy. So you copy it and you save it. And so when you send somebody an email like, thanks for your business, we hope that your couches are clean or your tooth doesn't hurt or you bought a car, whatever the product or service, that you helped them with, when you reach out to them, you can put this little link in there and ask. Boy, it sure would, mean a lot to us and our team. Or you could say, we're actively, growing our reviews. Just click here. What a difference 3 minutes would make, right?
Right, right.
Another pro tip: do not incentivize your review.
I was just going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Everybody says that, and uh, I see this. I see people, on Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever other um, supposed mentors or coaches or something, and they put that out there, and it's an absolute no-no. I mean, it is a clear violation against the terms of services of virtually every single review site to incentivize the review.
I didn't even realize that part. I was
Yeah,
thinking more of it as just it's kind of like you're kind of paying for somebody to say something nice for you, but I didn't realize that it's probably also a violation of terms of service.
it is, and that's how would they get these people like, oh, I'm just gonna go on some site and pay, get like, oh, I'm going to buy 50 reviews or 20 reviews, whatever that you're paying for a review. And you're essentially paying for a review. If you like, give me a review and I'll do your next, oil change or
Yeah.
$5, or I don't know what it is, but don't do it. I mean, do some people get away with it? Probably. Can it cost you every single review you've earned?
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Good
Too
point.
high, too high a price, right?
And we have to take into account context too, because this is that what we're talking about right here is different from you have an opportunity to win $1,000 by doing a review on your clerk at the grocery store when you get home. Just call this number. you know,
Yeah,
that's
and people,
different.
it is. So that's like an internal kind of a thing. And there's kind of, it gets you into a gray area. Like, do you get entered into a contest? Is
right.
that
And what are
incentivizing?
the state rules? Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets a little odd, but you know, look, we believe every company with great character deserves a great reputation, right? Like, you've done the work, you've taken care of your customers. Other people, need to know this, right?
Hmm.
And so it should be um, pretty reasonable to ask and get people to do it.
Right. Right. And
Now,
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, sometimes you got to ask more than once. Like, oh, I know you got busy, or you might have gotten busy, by the way, or if you captured, their phone number through like a sign-in form, which
Hmm.
we offer as a service. You don't want to be texting anybody without permission. It's like spam.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
And
like
there's some pretty significant.
yeah, like $1,500 a
When
text or
you
something
open
Yeah.
crazy.
yourself
So
up,
never do anything non-permission based, right? But they're your customer, so
Right.
there's not a lot of that. But in the text world, there's a little asterisk. But asking them more than once,
Hmm.
because they might have loved it, and they got home and the garbage bag broke, or the dog got sick, or the kid needed to go somewhere. I mean, they wanted to do it. They will.
Yeah.
They just, that moment wasn't good when you asked them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us don't tend to realize I'm doing what I'm doing. I have a thought. I'm going to send you something, but you're over there in a Calgon bath, and you might get to it later. And oh, geez, 3 hours later, it slipped my mind entirely. It's
Right?
nothing personal. It's just the timing of your request needs to be made again. That's all.
You're spot on.
Yeah. So what happens though when it's it's not a fit like that where I've provided a service for you, you're thrilled with it, and I ask you for your review, and you're gonna go do that, and it gets done eventually, and it's beautiful, and the birds are singing, rainbows pop out of rocks, um, right? And then there's the flip side where somebody gets a hair up their nose and just goes, you know what, I'm just going to trash this person, and maybe it had absolutely nothing to do with your service. It had to do with you broke up with them or didn't give them your phone number like they wanted you to, or whatever the case may be. They get salty about it and then just set out to destroy your reputation. What can you do in a situation like that?
Oh my gosh. So you're talking, I know what that's called. Real life.
Yeah, that's called cancel
Yes.
culture.
It is. And God, yeah, it's true. It does happen. And in fact, the stats show it clearly that a 5.0 company doesn't actually make as much money as a 4.6 or something, right? We always, even in my own words, I say, building a 5-star reputation, but really it's fake. It's not real life. So you're going to get people for vengeance or anger, or they had a bad day, or you had a bad day, or your employee had a bad day, or your vendor had a bad day, or an
Hmm.
accident, right?
Yeah.
So stuff happens, as the saying goes. And guess what? Angry people are more motivated to go tell the world
Yeah.
than the happy people often.
That
And they
whole
have this
squeaky wheel.
voice. They do, and they have this keyboard voice, right?
Hmm.
And they use it. And frankly, that's what it's there for, with the bigger lens, like the non-angry, responsive, this guy said something terrible about me, right? And that's usually the first thing. So we'll take this in a couple parts.
Okay.
One, if it's really like not true or fraudulent or crazy like that, there's mechanisms to flag, and get it removed.
Hmm.
So if they never did business with you and they're just really vengefully getting you without a foundation, those can be removed through the process. But that's probably a small majority. Most of the time something happened,
Hmm.
and then you deal with it. And you should reply. You should reply to every review,
Okay.
and especially the negative reviews. Because why? Well, this is why we have the reviews. This is why we help people. This is why people should help themselves, and we offer resources to do that.
Hmm.
People read reviews. The numbers are crazy. Like 90+% of people read reviews, before ever calling you. Like
Hmm.
you never get the chance to say, hi, how are you? How can I help you? Because they read your reviews. And if you weren't the obvious choice, you didn't even get the call. So that said, they want to read 10. They're going to read positive and negative. I do. I
Hmm.
love reading the negative reviews.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I said all that to say this. They're an opportunity for the business when thought about properly, right? So never respond angrily, right? Um,
Well, I have a couple of friends that are also coaches online, and some of them are very much in personality marketing. Okay, so beautiful, sexy ladies that are like self-empowering, using that to their advantage out there, and you can imagine the trolls that show up.
ooh,
Yeah. When a woman owns her sexuality and power and uses that to monetarily benefit herself, okay? So, yeah, it just kind of attracts this particular type of person that just wants to tear at the fabric of that.
oh,
And she will get
oh,
on there and give it back to him. But she does it in such a way that is empowered, classy, and just owns these guys, and she does it very well. It's very rare to see somebody that can do that very well. Most of us are human beings and we just want to go, I'm an asshole, you're an asshole.
that's so true. And and it takes some temperance to not respond that way, you
Hmm.
know, and respond in the right way, the higher ground, you know, um, apologize if necessary. It not always is, right? But you could say things like, maybe, well, maybe not to those terrible guys, but
Okay.
as a broader brush, that's not the way we like our things to happen, right?
Hmm.
It's not up to our standard either. We appreciate your feedback, our more common ones, but I love that story because it really takes um, a good perspective and some good wording.
Mm-hmm.
And the bigger undertone, I was going to get to this, and this is a great example, is you're not only replying to that person. Well, surely you are. I mean, they wrote their review, you're replying to that review.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about it in the lens of every other person that's going to read that review, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you're showing the world, she's showing the world how she handles her business
Mm-hmm.
with power, dignity,
Right. Right.
addressing uh, the most probably impropriety of said comment
Mm-hmm.
without, getting in the mud,
Yeah, and flinging it
with
back at
them. Yeah. Um, and this is just solid. Um, and it takes some practice. I mean, we literally coach, people through this, right? We have, free downloadable reports on responding to negative reviews
them.
to
Nice.
to get it to there and to not have an online fight, right?
Right. Right. Oh,
and
flame
and
war. Oh, that would be so bad for your company.
it is, because imagine like everybody, because like you're responding to one, but tens, hundreds, thousands,
Mm-hmm.
uh, more, people looking at this thing online, right?
Right.
Because you know what, they're not going away
No.
now, unless it's that little first category where it was like completely wrong and fraudulent. And
Yeah.
I guess if those people got too crazy and inappropriate, they'd probably even pull down some of hers,
Mm.
super bad ones.
Yeah.
um
She handles it very well.
I love that story.
She's pretty good. But God, I was going to say something based on what you just said, though, and it slipped out of my mind. I'm sorry.
Well, you bring it right back up, but the point is, you're writing it
Oh,
to,
teachable
to the to
moment.
the okay, go.
So what I was going to suggest is, from what you're saying, kind of in the background of it all, whenever you're responding to a negative comment on or a review, wherever they may be, whether it's Google My Business, under YouTube video, whatever, coming from a space of this is a teachable moment for the audience as a whole, right? We're going to have this conversation and I'm going to gently set you straight, but this is for the benefit of everybody else, right?
I love it. Yes, I'm going to use it. I'm going to watch this and transcribe this part.
Awesome. Yay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you were telling me you've got some really cool reports that are available and downloadables that our audience can go and collect from your
Oh my
site.
gosh. Yes, that's
Yes.
what we do. We lead with value, and we follow with education, and we want to partner for success, right? Um, we operate on, some people call it a freemium model. Like, look, we'll tell you what to do. We give you the goods, right? Go do it. And if you find you want some help, we'd love to help you. But go get it. And so we start with a couple of things.
Okay.
Um, One of them is the free guide. It's like an ebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's called "Everything You Must Know About Managing Your Online Reputation."
That sounds like it covers everything.
It is. It's pretty great, right? And so then, if you want to dig deeper and like actually learn like what people are seeing about you,
Mm-hmm.
like where you're listed and how many reviews you have at these different important sites, and your negative reviews and your recent reviews and your videos, and we do a reputation report card.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
not only do like, oh, I think it's important and I want to learn, but I want to know exactly how people see me online.
Yep. And
Both of those things.
you did one of those for me, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I'd give them out like candy. I love to let people see what's happening out there. It's so important.
Yeah, yeah, it was very, very useful for me. And I went and started cleaning up my YouTube and getting things in order. And I still have yet more work to do on my website. But the information that you gave me was very valuable to me because I sit over here kind of going, oh, there's so much to do. I don't know where to start. And then I've got
True.
this little list from Greg going, Go look at this. Go look at this. Go look at this. This is what you can do to improve this kind of
Yep.
thing. And this is where you're doing okay. Don't think about this today. Go do those. It was
Exactly. Yeah,
very
it's like a
helpful.
letter grade. It's a report card. You get A, you get
Hmm.
F, you get a D, you get points of failure, you get suggestions. I love it. That's such a great way to put it.
It was awesome. So I apologize. I interrupted you. Please continue.
Well, I don't. Is it time to share where they can get it, or we
Yeah,
do
go
that?
for it.
Yeah. So it's so she said, I'm Greg Goshorn, G2 Internet Solutions, kind of the company, but we use this website, and it's called reputation.onlinelocalvideo.com, and that is a landing page that where you can claim the free guide.
Awesome.
And then also on that page, if you scroll down, there's an opportunity to request your reputation report card.
Fantastic. And
And if you're
also,
on your phone right now and you're
mhm,
driving or something, you can text reputation to, and pardon me, I got to put my glasses on, 859-436-2044.
excellent. And that number is scrolling across the ticker. So when you get to a space where you can
Beautiful.
sit down and copy off for yourself,
Gotcha.
do that. Do that.
So everything is there, and go learn, go do it, and go build this up, right? Because these days it's more important than ever, to have good reviews online. I mean, the 90% are looking at to make shopping decisions, and you just got to give them a reason, to choose you over your competitors.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people have a great inside reality. I mean, they take such good care of their customers. They provide tremendous value, in the products and the services they do.
Yes.
But then they don't have a great outward perception.
Hmm.
And so, how do these people in the world that are looking for what they do, what they can give, that would really help them, but they don't get the chance
Right.
because these guys, these people haven't done the work to show up. And
Yeah.
that gets you started right here. It shows you exactly where you are and where to go, like you said.
It was very, very helpful. Very helpful. So if people want to talk to you a little bit more in depth about specifically, maybe they've got an issue already bubbling that they need some help handling, um, you know, what to say to respond and not shoot from the hip. That phone number that you gave out earlier, can they call that to schedule a time with you? How can people reach
We
out to
we
you?
have a different way to do that.
Okay.
We do a 15-minute discovery call,
Awesome.
and where we dig in, like you said, it's perfect, especially if you've done some of this work. Like, hey, I got an F, what am I doing? Or I got a terrible one. Greg, help me reply before I tell this person off that's canceling me, the culture world, as they
Right.
can.
Yep.
Um,
Keyboard warrior, out to kill
uh,
my business.
it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
and it needs to be managed properly. So chatwithgreg.com.
Nice. I
And
like
then
that.
you get to pick uh, your best time on my calendar,
Hmm.
and we'll spend 15 minutes figuring out how we can help you.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Greg, for what you are doing because I think that the service that you provide and the assistance that you provide is one of those things that really needs to be known wider that there are people out there that can do that and do what you do and help people see a clear view of what other people are seeing about us online because there is that it's hard, you can't see the bridge of your own nose without a mirror,
There you
right?
go.
You can't, and it's right there. Everybody else is looking at that nasty zit right there, and you need a friend like Greg to go, hey, come here. We need to
Right, right.
yeah, a little touch up here. Okay. Sorry,
Perfect.
mixed masculine and feminine metaphors there, but I'm sure everybody gets the point.
Right.
So thank you again for being out there, doing what you're doing, and helping people who are in business in this new way of doing business in the world these days, the ability to do it a lot more simply and ease-filled and with more peace of mind. Thanks
Oh
very
my
much.
gosh, you're thank you for the kind words, and it's our core values, to give and to teach.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, have a fantastic week. Reach out to Greg. You just never know what other people are saying about you. Go find out. Take care. Bye. When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.